All right, bro. We're on.
Hey, bro.
How you going?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, no worries, bro. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, mate, professional setup here, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying. Trying to make it as best as it can be. I'm
Yeah.
only just starting, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, bro. No, it's good, man. I've got the star treatment, got the water here and feeling comfy, feeling ready to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
No,
Pretty
it's
honoured
good,
to be
bro.
on here. So
No, I've been keen to get you on, bro. You've inspired me to start doing things that I want to do and prioritize things in my life that either going to make a difference for me or make a difference for someone else
mm,
or um yeah. So
thanks, man. Yeah. Again, we'll probably talk about it further in, but same with you, man. And we always Jed and I sort of send each other inspirational, videos and quotes and stuff on Instagram all the time. And it's good to have someone, to keep yourself accountable and get the tears on now. But
yeah, yeah,
it's good. It's good to have someone in your corner and supporting you. So I feel the same
yeah,
way about you,
yeah,
bro. So
yeah, it is, bro. Thank you.
yeah,
um let's talk a little bit about surfing. I know
yeah,
that
nice.
uh, you have a massive love for surfing, and
Yeah, love it.
it's one of your main loves. How do you feel that surfing has changed your life?
Oh, good question, man. Yeah, surfing's just it's everything. Hey, like it's just I think especially when you're having a bad day or you're sort of in your head a lot, you sort of get in the water and it just I don't know, it all just sort of disappears.
Yeah,
I think just the power of the ocean and getting in the salt water, it's just cleansing. You're not thinking about all the outside noise or whatever you're sort of dealing with. You can sort of just connect with Mother Earth, have a few waves, and I don't know. Just for me, it resets me. Like
yeah,
it's the best feeling. Especially like we surf together all the time. Seeing your mates get good waves and
yeah,
it's just you feel good and you never even if you have a bad surf, you you're still having fun. Like
yeah.
it's never a dull moment out there. So
No,
it's been great, man. Made some like yourself and some of the other boys out there made some really good friends. Um, it's not just surfing. It's a bit of a social thing out there
yeah,
too. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
Like
Yeah,
we have a bit of a mothers meeting out there, and
yeah,
it's great. Like you get excited to see the same group of people
yeah,
every day or every weekend whenever you go out, and it's really good, man.
yeah,
So
yeah. Some people call it going to church. Like that's their
yeah,
church. You
yeah,
turn up on a Sunday morning, and you that's it. That
oh, 100%, man,
yeah,
and just like fitness wise, like it's just you're using your whole body, you're using your arms, your legs, your core, your back, like
yeah,
everything. So um, just for all those reasons, it's just such a good thing to sort of have in your life. So I'm very very grateful for it. I've always sort of been around the water, like my dad, and
yeah,
he was always into fishing and swimming, and we're always at the beach. So it sort of just made sense. I sort of got into surfing.
yeah. You transitioned into that.
Yeah, yeah. So I sort of always, when I was younger, like did like surf club and nippers and everything when I was young. So yeah, I've always sort of had a love for the beach and the ocean and just being around it. So yeah, I've been lucky. Like I think, especially where we live, been very fortunate to always be close to the
Yeah,
ocean.
be
So
close.
yeah, so it's been good, man.
Yeah,
Really
it's
good.
awesome. Do you think it was definitely your dad that got you into surfing? And
Yeah, I think so. Like I think there was a point. Yeah, I love doing nippers and surf club. Um, but then yeah, I think there was a point like dad always rode a wave ski,
yeah,
so he was always out in the water. I think always sort of seeing him out there, and I think it was maybe old school Mick Fanning
yeah,
and Parko. I sort of saw those guys, and I remember saying to dad, I was like, Dad, I want to do that.
yeah, I want to be
I
like
want
them.
to I want to be like them, and
Yeah,
I still remember we bought my first first surfboard was a Parish Burn surfboard. It was a secondhand Parish Burn, like his model.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just used to froth on that thing, man.
Yeah.
It was it was this little epoxy sort of. It probably wasn't the best for learning,
Yeah.
um, but I used to ride that all the time, and that sort of got me hooked. Like it
Yeah.
was. Are we allowed to swear on
Oh,
it or not?
you can.
It's all right. Yeah. It was fucking hard, man. Like when
Yeah.
when you start off, like it's just a lot of yeah, a lot of trying to get up, a lot of on your knees, or you look a bit silly, but
Yeah.
um, like you've sort of realized, there's sort of this point where it all sort of clicks,
Yeah.
and then it starts getting really fun. So
Yeah. It's like a switch. You're trying for. It's such a hard sport to learn.
oh
It's like I'm glad that like I was a bodyboarder for a
mm,
long time,
yeah
probably too long before I started surfing. But because I was already bodyboarding and I
mm,
knew how to read the ocean, read the
yeah
waves, and that all was a massive um like a key to learning to surf. It was
mm,
just, like with surfing, obviously you got to stand up on the board,
yeah
which
yeah.
is the hardest part.
Oh, it
And
humbles you, man.
it,
Like
it dead set does.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're learning, you have some real rough days where you're like,
Oh,
why am I doing this?
yeah,
Yeah,
100. But like, and like, we've sort of said this to each other, but you got to start somewhere,
yeah,
and everyone has to go through that. I think, yeah, when I first started learning to surf, I went to the other end of the beach, away from everyone, no pressure. You could just,
yeah,
and I think that's the beauty of it too. Like it is frustrating, but I think just being consistent and just getting out there, you do get rewarded.
yeah,
And
you
then
do.
when that moment you're like, oh yes, like all
Yeah,
that hard work, it's finally like
yeah.
all coming together. So
And how good's the feeling of catching a good wave too, where
oh,
you
it's
can't
the
help it.
best.
You're just grinning and you're
Yeah,
looking around. You're like, who's seen that?
yeah, to
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah. You're like,
yeah.
you know,
I know you're like, oh, I don't want to claim it, but sometimes you just feel, yeah, the feeling sort of takes over you. Like
yeah,
it's just, um, and you can remember a wave, like if it's a really good wave from years back. You know
yeah,
what
for a
I mean?
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. I think when the waves are doing their thing, and I think when you're not trying to do too much and you're not trying to fight the wave,
yeah,
when you sort of just take a step back, all right, what's the wave doing?
yeah,
And then you just sort of go with what the wave's doing, and then you just when you can sort of connect with what the wave's doing, it just well, I guess it's like that flow.
yeah.
You get that real flow, and you're like, oh, like this is
It's
the
such.
best feeling ever.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It is honestly like a drug,
It
100%. For
yeah.
me, it is anyway.
Oh, you just you're right. Like you want to keep going back and experiencing that again. And like we were saying before, like I get that when like if you get a good one, or if dad or if any of the boys get a really good wave, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
you just froth it for
yeah,
them because you know the feeling.
yeah,
Um, but it's the best, man. Like and especially putting in the work, and especially if you're going every weekend too, you're like, oh, like I'm putting in the time, putting in the effort. And then when you get waves like that, you're like, oh, this is why we do it.
yeah, yeah.
It's so good.
It's great too when you're out there surfing and there's guys out in the water that you look up to as a
Mm,
surfer,
yeah.
like yourself and out in the water like Billy,
Mm.
I look up
Yeah,
to
Billy.
heaps,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Billy's just
He's a good bloke,
just a
man.
ripper, man. And
Yeah,
yeah, the other day I said to Billy, I feel like I'm starting to get somewhere with my surfing. And he's
yeah,
like, man, you've come a long way. Like,
yeah.
and
It's
now
good.
like I'm in the water and Billy's given me that respect
Mm,
because I can surf a bit better now. Um, and like, he'll let me have waves. Like he will
yeah.
not go just to let me have one. And like, yes, it's good, man.
It is, and you know what? That's the best feeling too. You're not just like um, you're earning the respect from everyone too. Like
Yeah,
if you're a good bloke out there and you're talking to everyone and you're putting in the time and everyone can see that, they're like, all right, you're one of us
Yeah,
now. Like,
yeah,
we're gonna, and like you said, like it's like, yeah, when there's a good one coming, if Billy's just had one, he'd be like, nah, Jed, you go, Aiden, or
yeah,
someone go, and you're like,
yeah,
oh, but that's all because you've earned that
yeah. That's
respect from
right.
those boys, and
Yeah, if
it
you
goes a long
if
way.
you go out there and you try and take all the waves
Oh,
and try and act like you own the place,
yeah.
like all the
Oh, you
locals are
get
going to
found out
shut you
very,
down real
yeah,
quick, man. Like, yeah,
100%, man. You get found out so quickly,
yeah,
and that's a good thing about some of those boys too. Like, it's a real sort of tight knit bunch of dudes. Like, we've all sort of earned our right out there. We've all been good to one another. So
yeah.
if someone comes in and has
Being greedy.
been a bit greedy, or think they're sort of above everyone, you've got that support from the other boys to say something,
Yeah,
and sometimes like sometimes they do mean it, but others, they're learning and they don't know, and sometimes even just pointing it out to them, like, you try in a nice way,
yeah,
then they sort of that they respond to that, and they're like, oh, okay, well, sorry, man, I didn't know that. And
yeah,
then you've actually taught them something, so then next time they come out, they're better off too,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's but
No,
yeah, it is. Or even,
that's great.
yeah, and even the other morning, like, the surf was pretty small, and but we were out there, and there was a pack of dolphins just cruising, feeding, and you
Yeah,
think, like, this is why we're out here, man. Like, even though the surf's not good, you can appreciate small moments like that, can't you?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
Like,
It's a cool thing being close to dolphins out in the water for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, they've been hanging out a lot recently.
yeah, man. Because you and I just sort of looked at each other and we're like,
Yeah,
how good's this?
yeah,
Like, even though it was not the best conditions, but you can sit out there with a pack of dolphins just cruising around. You're like, it's
yeah,
like, how good? Like, it doesn't get any better than that,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
So, um, yeah, I love it, man, and especially going out early, bro. Like, sometimes it is hard getting up, but once you're there, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
it's worth getting up, and you're starting your day right, and it's just a good start to your day, isn't it?
yeah. It's definitely easier when you're doing something that you love and you're getting
Mm.
up early in the
Oh
morning
yeah,
to do it.
it's hard to
Yeah,
go to work, but
it is. It is.
like surfing, it's like, yeah, get me there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I don't
Oh,
mind
I don't. I dead set do not struggle to get up
to,
early to go
yeah,
surfing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's something I thoroughly love, and
100%.
yeah,
And you're my
it's
pump up dude too. You'll be like, Hayden, it's going to be fine tomorrow,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you coming, so
yeah. You've been
it's
watching
good.
the forecast all week.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
swell's doing? Like, we're not surfing massive waves or anything, but it's the whole thing. It's the whole package.
yeah, 100%,
Um,
man.
yeah, as long as there's some fun waves, like I'm happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's like we talked about this a bit before, but you know, even if you have a good attitude out there, and just think, oh, like, I'm going to make the most of whatever the conditions are, because you're never
yeah,
going to get it perfect.
yeah,
But if you have a good mind frame of, I'm just going to enjoy it, I'm going to just have fun. You always do. Like, you see some people out there, and they're like, oh, like, this the waves are crap, this, and I'm like, oh, dude, just
yeah,
you're out in the water, man. Like, just you just got to take it as it is
yeah.
sometimes, and
Don't be so serious about it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like, we're pretty lucky to be enjoying the beach and enjoying the water every weekend, so
yeah,
you can sort of appreciate that.
yeah. We're extremely lucky.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't. I was driving through the country the other day, and I was
Mm.
like, man, this is not for me. It's like
Oh,
I'm too
yeah,
far away from the ocean.
yeah.
Um,
Especially when you've always grown up with it too,
yeah,
and like, it does get windy where we are, like on the south coast, but like what you said, if you go into country or out west or something, you don't get that ocean breeze. It's just
no,
hot, and you're
yeah,
like, how do they do it, man? Like, I need to
I
have that
know.
ocean breeze, or
Yeah,
something near
it's
me.
hard. It's what you get used to as well, though.
Yeah, definitely,
Like
definitely.
I feel a lot of people, um, yeah, like if they're from the country, they really miss being back home. It's like
Mm,
the beach is not their thing.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so yeah, it's
and even
what.
just around here too, we're so lucky. We've got so many good spots
Yeah,
close to home,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, we're pretty pretty spoiled for choice, and you go to, you travel up to Sydney and Bondi's packed, or
Yeah, yeah,
Cronulla, and you're like, oh, I don't know how they do it, man.
yeah.
Like,
It's super packed. It's
yeah,
not just like, yeah, our beaches will get a bit packed
mm,
sometimes with surfers,
mm.
but their beaches, like, well, man, there's thousands of people on the beach. There's thousands of people in the water. It's
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and you wonder how they get anything, man. Like sometimes, like it is getting a bit crowded, a bit more crowded. Probably people like on
yeah,
holidays and everything, but you just think, look, we're
yeah,
lucky
yeah,
it's not like that. I think if it
yeah.
was like that, we wouldn't. Yeah, we'd be fighting, but
No, no.
yeah.
Well, it doesn't make it easier that where we surf got named the second best beach in
Oh,
Australia.
I know. That was
Um,
probably the oh
I
like
remember I remember when that happened and all the boys talking about it. Be like, oh, yeah,
but you could just tell like
second best beach in Australia. It's
oh
yeah,
it was just ever since like and obviously it's good for the area and everything, but
yeah,
as soon as that got announced, it was
yeah.
like, dude, it got that much more packed.
I swear it did.
Oh, there was a shift, man. You
It's
could
like it was
tell.
overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone
it
just
it's always been a little bit touristy there, but
mm,
um, yeah, it wasn't an every weekend thing
nah,
like it is now.
nah. Now,
Where
now we're sort of getting up at, or we're getting to the beach,
yeah,
like
before
yeah,
the sun comes
before
up.
sunrise. So,
Yeah. Oh,
so that's what you sort of got to do to get a couple waves before the tiros come in, and
yeah.
you
It's
know,
all part of it. It's all
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It yeah, it hasn't taken the joy out of it for me, but
Nah, definitely not, man. Like
yeah,
every time you get to go out there, it's you winning. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
It's still good to share, and you meet more people too. Like a lot of the people that do come down there that aren't from around here, that they're nice people as well. The
yeah,
majority
yeah,
of them.
and it is, and at least it leaves a good imprint. Like if they're traveling, it leaves a good imprint for them, and it's a good spot, good people, and I guess everyone like when we travel, we sort of want that too. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, you don't mind as long as they're being respectful. I don't mind it, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
uh,
Let's let's talk a bit about your acting.
yeah, yeah,
I know that that's your path in life. That's where you want to be. That's where
yeah,
you're
100%.
going to. I know for a fact that you've been trying so hard. You're putting in the work and you've been absolutely relentless with it.
Oh, thanks, bro. Thank you.
I yeah, that's part of the reason. Like seeing your mindset towards that
Mm.
has, it's like, man, Aiden's out there getting it. He's going for it. It's like,
Yeah.
why aren't I? Why aren't I going for my goals
Mm.
and aspirations and what I want to do? But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, what made you want to start acting?
Oh, that's a good question, bro. I think looking back at like ever since I was young, um, I was always sort of I loved movies. I just loved like as a kid, my auntie and my dad and they always used to play, all the classics. So I always grew up sort of loving film and movies. And then looking back too, like I think ever since like sometimes being in primary school choirs and stuff, like there'd be a little acting, like a little role in the choir, and I'd always put my hand up, and
Yeah,
there was this time where like we did like Adam's Family song, and I dressed up as one of the boys, Pugsley, I think, from the Adams Family, and my grandma sort of made a um, little pillow thing for me to put on under my shirt, and I'd run on, and
yeah,
Wednesday would sort of dangle a spider, and I don't know, just stuff like that. At the time, you don't really, because you're just a kid. You sort of
yeah,
that's
yeah,
just fun to do. Um, but looking back, it's sort of yeah. I think I've always just sort of had an interest with it, but I always sort of thought, oh, like, dude, I can't do that. Like, there's,
yeah,
you're looking at people like, McConaughey and all these dudes up here. You're like, I can't get there. There's no
yeah,
way. Like, I sort of didn't know a direction of how to get there.
yeah,
Um, And then I think, yeah, I just always like even um, through high school and everything, I always didn't really know what I wanted to do
Yeah.
in life. So I just sort of I always had acting in the back of my head, but it was never sort of a thing where I thought, oh, I'm going to do that as a career.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it really sank in with COVID and all that time. It was sort of a shitty time for everyone. Um, but I sort of started doing, during lockdown, I sort of started doing little videos,
Yeah.
little skits because we couldn't really do
Couldn't do
much.
much.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Stuck at home.
Yeah, you just sort of stuck at home, and I just thought, well, and again with that, I don't know, just something popped in my head, and I thought, oh, may as well just start making these little videos.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I started doing that. Like I did like a Rocky thing and a Mrs. Doubtfire. I just did random
Yeah.
little things that were sort of funny to me.
Yeah. Like your favorite childhood movies and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that, just to keep entertained, and I enjoyed doing that. And I think it was 2021. Yeah, I think it was 2021 when we were still, yeah, COVID was still happening, and I just thought, oh, you know what, like the time's now to do a little short course, like a beginner's course
Yeah.
in acting. I thought, you know what, like why not? I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I may as well give it a go. If I don't like it, it's just a little 6-week beginners course. If I like it, well, the sky's the limit. Like, so I did that, and I really enjoyed it. It was a bit harder because it was online,
Yeah.
because you couldn't go in there. Um, but that was really good, and so I thought, you know what, like I want to give this a go and try and get into a school, and like continue my learning. And yeah, at the time, like I wasn't working, and I applied to get into, like I auditioned for the school. I won't name the school, but I auditioned to get in with them, and I actually got in.
Yeah.
But there's a few rules and regulations at the time. I made it hard for me to actually go,
Yeah.
like to go to the school, um, and I was pretty, yeah, I was pretty bummed, man. Like
Yeah.
I especially because I wasn't working, and when I auditioned to get into the school, and like I got in, and I thought this is it. I really did a lot of prep for it, and I did a lot of outside stuff, just sort of get myself ready for what I was going to do the following year. And yeah, when I sort of found out I couldn't do it, I was like, oh, like I was just sort of, yeah, sort of pivot in the road. I
Yeah.
was really down on myself, and um, but everything happens for a reason,
Yeah.
and
Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
yeah, that's right. And looking back now, I was actually really really lucky. I didn't like it didn't work out, because a few months later, I got into they're called Stage Milk.
Yeah.
So I'm still with these guys. So these guys are really good. It's basically like they're a gym for actors.
Yeah.
So every month you put down a monologue or a scene. So you put that down, and at the end of each month you send your tape in, and they've got Stage Milk have got heaps of coaches that are actors themselves, and in that sort of field, and you send your self tapes off to them, and then you get your feedback back from these coaches, and you get personalized feedback.
Yeah.
And bro, like the best thing I could have done. I'm working with this guy, James Fraser.
Yeah.
He's an actor himself, and I've been working with. I think I started Stage Milk 2022,
Yeah.
so I've been with them for a few years now. And like James is my coach. I send stuff to him all the time, and yeah, he's really transformed me to the actor I am today. Like he's just very very intellectual about how he gives feedback, and he
Yeah.
really, like, he's good. He doesn't sugarcoat stuff. Like he doesn't just give you a pat on the back. Oh, this is good job, and he's not mean or anything, but he really wants to help you.
Yeah, he
Like,
wants you to do well and he's honest.
yeah, man. Like he's honest. Like
Yeah,
he'll say, you know, this was good, but with this, your eyes are here, or he'll say, look, this is this is in a good place, but let's delve deeper into it. Let's really raise the stakes a bit,
yeah,
see what up. And yeah, he's just like looking back now, my old tapes, I'm like, oh, what was I doing there?
yeah,
But now, like yeah, he's really helped me with my acting and with my confidence um, into me sort of really trying to pursue it. And yeah, so at the moment, I'm trying to. So when you like audition um, and sort of seek representation, they look for your headshots, like a CV, and then like a show reel.
yeah,
It's called. So a show reel is sort of a thing you show direct. Like, it's sort of like a highlight reel, so they can see a few snippets of you acting
yeah,
and how you like what you sort of do. So you sort of um, put a few clips of your best work in there. So that's sort of where I'm at now. I've sort of got all my headshots, headshots and show reel. I've got all that together now.
yeah,
So now it's just sort of trying to find an agent this year,
yeah,
which is a bit nerve wracking but exciting.
yeah,
So I've got a bit of a list. I'm sort of just starting to email a few people now, and that's sort of where I'm at.
yeah,
But it's been an awesome journey, man. Like I think the thing with acting too, you're always learning something. You never like you're always trying to chase, perfection, but you're never gonna get there. There's always something to learn, which is sometimes a bit frustrating because you're like, oh, I've already done so much.
yeah,
But to always learn and try and better yourself is like that's one of the main reasons I love it. Like you always, and especially trying to uh, like to fit into someone else's shoes.
yeah,
It's you got to have a lot of empathy with acting. Like I think there's some actors out there, and unfortunately it's all about them. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But really, acting is showing empathy for people and trying to put yourself in their shoes. Um, and it's a very can be a very noble pursuit, and I've learned it's a team thing. It's not just
yeah.
one star trying to,
No,
you
no,
know what I
like
mean? Like
there's yeah, for sure. There's what say one movie that you're watching and there's a star of the movie,
hmm.
but what's going on behind the scenes,
Oh,
all
definitely,
the
man.
other cast, like it's a huge thing. It's
Yeah.
not just your one main actor or like they need the support from everyone and
Mm.
he or she has to give support to everyone as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, definitely.
Um
And it's all the like what you sort of just touched on. It's all the people doing makeup, costume, um, people doing the lights, setting everything up, and I guess it's like with life, you got to treat everyone how you like to be treated.
yeah,
It's not just me. It's a collaborative thing. Um, we're all working on the same goal. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like and that's the thing. If we all work together, we're all gonna get there. So, um, but yeah, no, it's been awesome, man. So I think this year's goals are sort of trying to get an agent,
yeah,
and hopefully some more auditions and some more opportunities, and hopefully slowly start to get myself out there, man. But
yeah,
it's I always sort of like I'm at the stage now where you're never going to be fully ready. I think you're always going to continue learning and even on the job,
Yeah.
it's totally different. You're going to be learning, you know, every new job you're at. But I'm sort of at that point now where, so yeah, I'm ready to start doing it now,
Yeah.
man. You know,
Take the next step.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I
So,
feel sometimes too, you just need to, sometimes you've done as much planning as you can do,
mm,
and as much work as you can do for now,
mm,
and the next step you just need to dive in.
yeah, yeah,
um there's a great saying that people who do Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
mm,
they say you either win or you learn.
yeah. Yeah,
So it's like that
that's
with everything in life.
100%, man.
So yeah, either the scenario is going to be the perfect scenario
Mm,
where everything has just come together and it's been easy, it's great,
mm.
but if it isn't, then what? You've learned something.
Yeah, that's
It
exactly.
might be tough, but you'd be like, okay, well, that didn't work.
Yeah,
I'll try
reset
this
and
now.
try this.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
And that's I think, like with anything in life, I think, um, yeah, like I think a few people were just afraid of failing, but like what you just said, I wouldn't say it's failing. Like I think, yeah, it's learning.
yeah,
It's like, and that's at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to learn to better ourselves. But yeah, it's sad sometimes when you see people like, oh, they don't even want to try
yeah.
because of the failure reason. It's like, well, but how do you know? Like, you just don't know, man. And like
You
you said,
don't.
everyone's got their own path of getting there.
Yeah,
No one's is going to be the same path. You know what I mean? Like even with what you're doing now, like, you've been doing painting for like a long time, and like, most of your life, and you now you're a dad, and you're really into your health and your lifestyle, and now you're sort of like, well, I want to get into doing what you're doing,
yeah,
and I'm sure for you it's it's a big adjustment, but you're doing it, you're
yeah,
jumping in there and doing it, man. Like,
yeah.
you're already winning
It is.
because
It's a huge adjustment.
yeah.
I I feel for me, it's been at first. Well, and you shouldn't think this way, but it's
Mm,
what is this person going to think of me, or
mm,
what's that person going to think of me? It's like, well, who cares?
yeah.
Who cares what they think of me?
Oh, 100%.
You should always strive to do better.
Mm,
And how will you ever know your full potential in
yeah, if you
life
don't.
if you don't give it a shot?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, I think, you're not, just because you've started off in a certain career, or you're always known as doing this, doesn't mean you then can't do something else. I think that's what being a human is. Like, we should always be open to learning, open to like, evolving and doing different things that we want to do. And I think, the older you get, you just realize, yeah, no one else sort of look. It is hard sometimes too. You're always going to have a little bit of judgment in your head, thinking, well, yeah, what's everyone, else thinking? But the older you get, you realize their opinions really don't matter. Like, it's you, your family, and like your inner circle. That's
Yeah.
like your good bunch of mates, and you know who your friends are and who they aren't when you start
Yeah.
changing and doing something. You know
And
what I
it
mean? Like,
and it happens faster than,
oh
bro,
yeah, yeah.
definitely.
It's scary, but you're like, well, it's sad, but at least well, I've got these good group of people that are actually gonna they actually want me to win.
Yeah.
They're actually here for me, not just, because a lot of people were scared. Oh, well, he's sort of moving up. I got to try and bring him down because that person's not
Yeah.
wanting to rise up either.
Yeah, because
Um,
they're doing the same thing day in, day out, and just living their like mundane life. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
whether they love it or not, but
yeah.
um
And there's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with with that either. But I think just, just being open minded and supportive of like people, like, some people want to, want to chase their dreams or want other things. Like they should
Yeah.
be encouraging of that, really. Like,
Yeah.
if they're your true friends,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. I feel, and that's with you. I'm
mm.
always sending you quotes. I'm
Yeah,
always
oh
messaging you,
yeah, 100%.
um, and like I have your back, and
Mm.
I feel it's like, I don't know if your friends don't really give you that much support because they're like, oh, I'm too cool for that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, it's like, I love all my friends, and I
Yeah,
want them to know that they have my support. Like every single one of my friends, I would give 100% support, whatever they want to do,
yeah,
whatever it is. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if that's your journey in life, I'm here to
Yeah, I'm here
support
to
you.
just be here. Yeah,
Just because I'm doing something different, or just because you're doing something different, doesn't mean that we don't have to like stay in touch, or we don't
yeah.
have to
That's
support each other, or whatever it is. Like,
yeah.
like,
We don't have to like understand what the other person's doing, but just like you said, just being there. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And that's ever since I've like when you announced your podcast, like I had no idea you wanted to. I was like, oh, I was so like message you straight away, going, bro, like
yeah,
this is so good. Like I didn't know that's what you wanted to do, but I
yeah,
was so happy when you announced. I was like, bro, like you need a hand with anything, I'm here. Like,
yeah.
and that's how it should be, man.
Yeah,
And
I've felt your support since day one. Yeah,
it's been good, man. Like it's sort of, I've said this to you before, but like I think it's when you announced it, it then brought like another spark in me, like because sometimes like even when I'm you know losing a bit of motivation, you'll send me stuff or you just give me that little pick me up sometimes, and it's like, oh, like it's really well, like it's really valuable to have those good group of people, and you do like who you hang around. That's who you become. So
yeah,
you have to pick, you have to pick wisely. But if you find those good people, you'll just rise together and you'll win. You'll win together, and you'll just look back and think, "Fuck!" Like I'm just so glad I kept doing it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
yeah,
It's it's funny how you said you remember being younger and you were like doing a little bit of acting at school, and you
mm,
dressed up as a character out of the Adams Family, and
mm,
I had that moment where I not too long ago, I
mm.
remembered being in my bedroom and pretending I was like on radio, like on my computer,
Yeah, wow.
and pretending that I was talking to someone, like I was talking to myself.
Mm, mm,
But when I was thinking about where the direction I want to go in life, and that popped up in my head, and I was like,
mm.
maybe this is what I've always wanted to do, and I've just
Yeah.
been a bit lost
Mm,
doing the same thing all the time,
yeah.
with work, and life's busy too, so
Oh, 100
it can
percent.
be hard to stop and think, what do I really want?
Mm.
Um,
And that's
so yeah,
that's a hard question too. It's like really sitting down with yourself and thinking, what do I want to
yeah,
do? But like with yourself and even with me, like you're never too old to start something new either. You know what I mean? I think that was a thing with school. Like, all my mates sort of went to uni and I was the only one that didn't go. Like I started working,
yeah,
and I was always a bit lost. But then I'm a big believer of everything. Yeah, everything happening for a reason, and everyone's road to get to where they want to go is different. But it doesn't matter like that we're this age and starting, or if you're younger. Like I think the main thing is just when you realize it. All right, let's full steam.
yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah,
You know what I mean. Let's
yeah.
commit to it, and
Why not go for it?
yeah, why not, bro?
Yeah, I was really nervous to tell people
Mm,
about what I wanted to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, or another podcast or whatever. Like, I don't think people understand how passionate I am about talking to people,
Mm, mm.
learning new things.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the main reasons I've started podcasting is because if I'm talking to a guest
Mm,
and there's one piece of advice or whatever it is in that podcast that can help someone's life,
mm.
then I feel like I'm winning
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because all along I've just wanted to help people.
Yeah,
I
that's
really want to help people.
mm,
Um, so yeah, that's one of the biggest factors
that's awesome, man.
contributing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're right, man. Like, like for the person you're interviewing or people at home, like you said, like if they get one bit out of it, or the whole episode could resonate with them. But even if it's just one thing that they walk away with and they think, you've had that impact on them
yeah,
too. Like that's pretty special that you've been able to help help someone just by having that conversation. And
yeah,
it's good, man. Like I think we need to have more sort of interactions like that where you talk and get to know someone. And because really that's what we have too. Like we have you know we have each other. So a lot of people are, I don't know, sort of bit negative with that. But like at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all living on this planet. Like if we can help each other in some way, like
yeah,
that's the goal, isn't it?
yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I That made me think too. So I was pretty nervous to tell my dad about what I
Mm,
wanted to do and
yeah,
wanted to start a podcast. And yeah, my dad is a very honest man.
yeah.
He'll tell me straight up what his opinions are. And I was
Mm,
nervous to tell him. I was like, Dad, I want to start a podcast. And he's
mm,
like, go for it. What's the
yeah,
worst that could happen?
yeah.
Yeah. So that was a big turning point for me. And
It is like that with your dad too,
it is, man.
especially because you really, or your mum and dad, but you, yeah, you really look up to your old man too, and you're like, oh, what does he think? Like, is he gonna, because you obviously value their opinion, like
Yeah.
both your mum and dad, and it is a bit of a nerve wracking thing, but most of the time you have this idea of like, oh, they're not gonna they're not gonna approve or they're not
No,
gonna
no.
like it, and then it's the
Yeah.
opposite response. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what was I
Yeah. What
beating
was I
myself up about here?
yeah, what was I worried for?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, how's your family support been? Um,
Oh,
you know,
yeah. It's been yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable, man. Yeah, like similar with you. I can't really remember when I told them. I was just always sort of talking about it, you know, interested in it. Um, and then it got to a point where they were sort of saying like, just go for it. Like, why not? Like you're doing all this. Like that was when I was sort of during COVID doing my little skits and stuff. And
yeah.
yeah, they said, look, like, why don't you just do the beginners course? Like you don't know until you try. So they've been great, man. Like I like I was saying before, I do self tapes every month, and sometimes I need a partner in when I do my um, tapes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll have my sisters or mum help me. So I'm very very grateful for them, and yeah, we've always been a really close family. So it's that's one of the big reasons I want to I want to get to where I want to get to sort of say thank you for all the support and sort of believing in me. And um, yeah, I just really want to, I don't know, have them proud of like, I've got there, I've worked my ass off, but I'm doing it for not just for me, but I'm doing it for everyone, to
Yeah.
support everyone. And because yeah, struggling actor, you're not sort of I'm not
No.
making much at the moment, but
No.
you sort of I sort of want to get to that point where I look at mum and dad and just say thank you, like just thanks for believing in me, and um, I want to look after them. So they're a big they're a big reason in me doing what I'm doing. And when I sort of lose a bit of motivation, I always sort of look at the family or look at mum and dad and think, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder having them there. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would pursue it if I didn't have supportive parents like them. So I'm very very lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a great feeling too, knowing that you're working really hard towards
Mm.
something. The results aren't there right now.
Mm.
You are getting results, but
Yeah.
not the huge results that you want as of yet. But yeah, they still have you back, and they're still supporting you the whole time through it.
Yeah, man. It's like what you said with with you telling your old man. It's sort of a big weight off your shoulders. You're like, oh, all right, well,
Yeah,
I've that they've got my back. All right, now it's time to show them.
yeah,
They put their faith in me. I want to repay that back to them.
yeah,
And yeah, they've always they've taught me how to be a good man, and hopefully that's I can keep doing that. But they they're the best, man. So very 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 lucky, and hopefully can walk mum on the red carpet one day at the Logies or something,
yeah.
bro. So
That'd be
yeah,
the best, man.
yeah. So
I'll be there as well.
yeah, I was gonna say I'll get you there too, bro, and get the whole fan bam there, and
Super fan.
get the limo, bro. We'll get the white doves
Yeah,
out the limo when when the limo door opens.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's been good. Been very 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 lucky.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, One question that I wanted to ask you,
Mm.
because it really, I notice it every time I see you. Like,
Mm.
we hang out pretty much every
Yeah,
weekend, and
yeah,
I'm always talking to you as well.
yeah.
How do you keep such a strong and positive mindset all the time? You're dead set one of the best people that I know, without a doubt.
Oh, thanks.
It seems like you're always happy, and you I don't think I've ever seen you get angry before. You just, you're
Yeah,
such a genuine, nice person. Yeah. Where's that come from, do you think?
oh, that's a tough question, eh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really grateful. I think I
Yeah.
just I'm just grateful. Like I always am pretty grateful for my family, my mates, and I think there's no point being grumpy or being look. We all have our days where we're not feeling ourselves, but we're only here for like we don't know how long we're here really. So
Yeah.
I just think, well, I want to just live the life I want to live, and I want to be happy and healthy. And you see a few people, and they might be the same age, but one looks so much older because they're just angry about everything. There's always something that's holding them back, and then there's someone the same age who's physically fit. They're doing what they want to do. They're happy. They're laughing, and you can just tell they've got that good way of life, man. So I don't know, man. Like I think if I can, if I can spread a little bit of that happiness to other people, I feel like I'm doing a good job. I don't know. Sometimes I don't. I just I just enjoy having a good laugh, and
Yeah.
and I just enjoy seeing other people and seeing my close friends and family doing well and being healthy and happy. And that's my big thing. If yourself, like if you're winning, if my family are doing well, like I'm happy. Like
Yeah.
I don't, it's not all about me. It's about my close circle. And if they're winning, I'm like, I don't need anything really. That's what makes me happy. But it's yeah, it's a good question, man. It's a
Yeah.
really good question
Like
because
when I'm talking about you to my other friends or family or whatever, I'm like, man, he is dead set one of the best people that I know. And it's like you're younger than me, but it's almost like I look up to you because of your mindset and
mm,
your personality and everything. Like
oh, thanks,
I
man.
have struggled in the past with being a
Mm,
bit angry,
mm,
getting real frustrated, stressed, everything. And
mm.
yeah, it's like when I like hang out with you, I'm like, man, I need to be better.
Oh no,
Yeah,
but I've said this to you before. Like, I think we both sort of get the best out of each other too.
yeah,
Like I've told you this before, but I know sometimes if I'm having one of those days, I'll get some clips from you, or you'll send me, like you ring me or send me a voice message, and it lifts my spirits. So
yeah,
you have an effect on me too.
yeah.
But I think it's just trying to be a good person, trying to be a good role model, and if I can do that, then yeah, I'm good. I'm happy, and I think that's a lot more people should. I don't know, try and have that mentality too of like I don't think it's worth being angry with other people. I think we're all here for each other. Let's work together and let's support each other. And dude, imagine what we can get done if we're all on the same page. Like I know
Yeah,
there's everyone has different beliefs and different attitudes, but that's powerful, man. If we're all living happy, healthy lives, you never know what you can
all
do, bro.
supporting each other as
Yeah,
well. And
yeah,
yeah, yeah, for sure, bro.
yeah.
Um, I was gonna ask you earlier as well.
Mm,
Is there a particular actor
mm.
who is your biggest inspiration?
Oh, there's a lot. I was thinking about this because I thought, oh, you might you might ask me this. Um, I've always there's a few. Clint Eastwood
Yeah,
is probably
awesome.
my number. He's probably my number one.
Yeah,
He just from how long he's been in the industry for. He's a great actor, but he's also a director, and he's still going. Like he's still making movies, and he's I look up to him a lot. He's incredible. Yeah, I'd still with Dad watch all the old westerns
yeah,
with Clint Eastwood. They're just classics. So
they are.
he's a big one. Um, Tom Hanks, love Tom Hanks. I don't know. Have you seen The Terminal?
Terminal.
Have you seen
I'm
that
not
one?
sure I have, but
If you,
if I haven't,
I'll lend you. I'll
I'll
lend.
look it up. If I
Yeah,
haven't seen it, I'll definitely watch it. Yeah,
that's a good one. He's Saving Private Ryan, The Terminal. He like he's got a lot. Um, Matthew McConaughey, obviously, we talk about him all the time.
yeah,
He and I think with him, like he's just unapologetically, he's just himself.
yeah,
He's not trying to be like anyone else. He's just what you see is what you get. So
yeah,
I really admire him for that, and he's incredible with some of the work he's done. Oh, there was another one too. Robin Williams. We were talking
yeah,
about this the other
yeah.
day. Robin Williams
Rest
is
in peace.
rest. Yeah, he was phenomenal, man. Like
Yeah,
he you know such a great human, great comedian, but him in Good Will Hunting and a few of those other movies, he was just yeah,
yeah,
really. He's one that really inspires me. And probably another one actually, Mel Gibson. I've
yeah,
been really starting to get into watching his films. And being an Aussie actor too, he's done a lot. He's done a lot for the industry, and he's a very talented actor too. So I probably could go on, but that's
yeah,
probably my top five. I think
yeah.
I listed. Yeah. So
That's awesome, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. how good are the old Clint Eastwood movies? I
Oh
remember watching
man,
them with my dad as well when I
yeah,
was younger.
they're so
Yeah,
good, man. Like just the
yeah,
music that just amplifies everything. The shootouts, yeah, they just made them good back then.
yeah,
All those westerns and yeah, like all the like Steve McQueen and all those guys. Like they just I don't know, they were just a real action sort of yeah, the action heroes, sort of action guys. Like your Stallones and
yeah,
like all those guys. Like they were just the stars.
yeah,
And I don't know. There is a little bit. There's some great actors now, obviously, but back then you just knew, like you saw Clint Eastwood or Stallone or they've done a variety of roles too, but you knew they were the guy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I'd love to, yeah, even do the like they've had enormous careers. If I
yeah.
can even do a little bit of what they've done and
You'll
what they've
be
been
you'll
able to
be there.
achieve, I'd be very, very grateful, man.
You'll
So,
be there one day. I'll see. You know, one day I'll be going to the movies, and it'll just be your face, like on the movie. You
oh,
know.
well, like you too, man. I was thinking, like when I saw this setup, I thought, dude, this might be, you'll have your studio one day. You might even have a TED Talk thing. You
Yeah.
have a group of people coming to sort of watch and see what you have to say. So it's cool, man. It's cool what you're doing and what I'm doing. It's sort of yeah, sort of
Yeah.
like inspiring each other to just
Yeah.
keep going, keep at it, and there's hard times and there's struggles, but I think there's a plan, and I think just us saying what we want to do, but then doing it and thinking about it. We're constantly putting out there what we want to do. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. It's hard sometimes not knowing when, but that's also
It
the
is.
beautiful thing too. You're like, well, you don't know like how it's going to play out, but that's
Yeah.
how good. Like that's special. So
Yeah. It's usually too. Just when you're about to give up is when it's about to happen.
oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's the actor Pedro Pascal. I think his
Oh
name
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think I think he didn't make it until he was 40.
yeah.
And he was like down in the dumps, like
Mm.
just about to quit. And now he's the main actor in huge movies
He's killing it.
with Nicolas Cage.
Mm.
And, he was just
Was
in
in
the
the new
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if he'd quit.
That's right. You know what? Funny you say that. A lot of things I see now from actors have been, or anyone successful, but like actors have been in the industry for a long time. Their number one thing is, yeah, don't give up.
Yeah.
Because you just, you're right. Like it's often the times when you're at your lowest when you get that little glimpse of, you know, like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Another thing too, the actor from The Office, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
I could be wrong with the dates, but I think his mum said to him, like, go to LA, give it. It could have been 2 years. Give it 2 years. If you haven't got anything or whatever, you can always come back. But just go 2 years, work your ass off, and give it a go. And he was he was this close to coming back. Like I
Yeah.
think it was only the 2 years was pretty much nearly up.
Yeah.
This close to throwing in the towel, and then he got the office.
Yeah.
And look what he's done now.
Yeah.
Like it's just
The rest is history.
oh man, and like we've been saying, bro. Like I think you know, I know we'll both get there. But even for some reason, if we don't, we're not. That's not a failure
No.
because at least we've given it a crack. You know what I mean? That there's so many people that don't even like they'll get stuck in the same job, they'll hate it, their mind frame every day is just, oh, like I've got to do this, got to go to work. I hate doing what I'm doing. They'll be stuck doing that for years. I'd rather at least try and pursue something that I want to do. If I don't get there, mate, I've had a,
Yeah.
I've loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not saying we won't. Like I know we'll get there, but for some people, like it's not a failure if you don't.
No.
It's only stuff that you learn and you're better from it. You
Yeah.
become a stronger human being facing obstacles and trying to better yourself and put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than be miserable all my life. Like that's it's not a way to live, is it? You
Yeah.
know?
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to get older either and have all these regrets. You want to have as minimal regrets as possible.
Yeah. And a lot of people do. And that's another thing I've been saying a lot too. A lot of people on their deathbed or you know, they'll sort of be asked what your regrets are, and yeah, it's the regret of not trying, and that's for us now. Like we're still pretty like we're young, and you think, wow, like you got to learn from that and think, well, I don't want to get
No.
I don't want to live my life and think, why didn't I do something because I thought this person was going to judge me for it.
Yeah.
You might not even know them in a few years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
So
I feel too, you really do need to love the journey that you're on as well, and the process of it all,
yeah,
not just where the ending is or like where you want to be.
mm,
You need to.
definitely because like success being successful is not just you know about money or you know I guess materialistic things. You know, like you can be the happiest person, but you can not have as much money as someone else. Like you said, I think just enjoying and just waking up and thinking, well, I get to I get to chat to someone new. I get to work on my podcast, or I get to wake up and I get to act. I get to try something new. I get to at least try something. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But at least you do. You have to enjoy the ride
Yeah.
because
What's the
what's the
point?
point?
Yeah.
What's the
What's the
point?
point
You
otherwise?
know,
Yeah.
like and it's gonna like there's times when it's when you sort of question, you're like, oh, dude, this is so tough. But then you just think to yourself, well, I wouldn't do like, I wouldn't sort of skip this for the world. Like I just automatically wake up and do this.
Yeah.
I'm not really think like, obviously I want to, act as a full time career, but for me, being able to work on scripts, reading new things and learning, I'm I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do anyway.
Yeah.
So even if I wasn't, if like at least it's I wouldn't picture anything else I'd rather be doing.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome, bro.
yeah.
I love that. I can't wait to have you back on the podcast when you
Oh, I'm keen, man. Yeah.
you know big superstar.
Oh well, mate, you too, man. Like it's been great just sort of having a good chat to you, and I've always said like you're just a good bloke and good to talk to. So it's very fitting you're getting into this career. So it's
Thanks, bro.
exciting times for both of us, bro.
Yeah,
Very very
it
exciting.
is. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, man.
We're
It's
we'll both
exciting.
make it.
Yeah, we'll be. I know we said this a couple of times before, but we don't know when, but we'll sort of look back in a few years and think like, bro, it was worth it. It
Yeah,
was worth all the struggles and the things we had to go through, dude. Like I'm just glad we didn't give up. I
yeah,
think I think that's the main thing, and yeah, it will be worth it, bro. It will be. We'll look back and just
yeah.
think,
Life
fuck.
goes so fast too; it flies by. That's
Oh,
what
it does, man.
like one of your favorites, McConaughey. Like he
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
"Get busy living."
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Like we're already in February now.
yeah,
It's like where did that go? You know what I
uh,
mean? So may as
yeah,
well be working and doing something noble like that than just wasting time, man. Like especially while you're healthy and you know, like get out there and do it, you know. So
Yeah, brother. Um, it's time to ask you a question that I'm going to ask all my guests.
Mm.
What is your favorite quote or piece of advice?
Oh, I love. You know what? I when you asked me this the other day, it really made me think. I was like, wow, like because we send each other stuff all the time, and there's been thousands of like inspirational quotes or sort of messages in there, and I'm like, oh, it actually the question actually made me think little bits that have helped me. So I've written two down. So I'll read out I'll read out this one. I think you enjoy this one. So I found this. It was Mike Tyson doing a podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
So Mike Tyson, he said this: discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. So that's the first one.
that's
Because
great.
it's a good one, man.
Yeah,
Because there'll be time like especially with my acting and stuff, like you're doing voice warm ups, voice exercises. You're writing scripts down. You're trying to memorize. You're doing, and memorizing is not fun.
all the
Like it's it's
yeah,
it's all the little
all the
stuff.
nitty gritty things that you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's all that the little gritty stuff that it's not fun. But I love that. I love how he put it's discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. It's just that mind switch of like, you know what? Yeah, it's hard, it's draining doing all this stuff, but it's helping me get where I want to get. So that's the first one. I really found that inspiring. And then another one is you're never too late to learn. That's been a big one for me. I always sort of um, growing up, like not that I was like wasn't the smartest, but I always thought like I can't do certain things because I'm not getting like I'm not an A grade sort of student. But like I always thought juggling. I thought, oh, that's only smart people can do that.
yeah,
Now, I can juggle really well.
yeah,
And just even certain things like reading. Like I was always a really slow reader, but I taught myself through help from like Jim Quick and other people. Like now, dude, I love reading, and I get through books like that. So I've really found. I always used to believe you you only learnt when you went to school, and that was it.
yeah,
But you're never too late. You're never too late to learn new things. You're never too late to ask, and you're never too late to change your career or what you want to do. It's never like, yeah, it's never too late, bro. So that's those are the two that really, yeah, sit well with me.
yeah. That's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Mm.
I one of the people that I always listen to and uh follow him and take in all of his advice is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
He's so good, man.
a great entrepreneur, and
Mm.
I think he didn't start until he was 40.
Yeah. Wow.
So he spent a long time just working in a bottle shop for
Mm.
his mum and dad, and until he had a great idea of
Mm.
selling wine online. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
That's how
never
he got.
too old to start.
Nah, bro. Like, I think it's such a key bit of information. Hey, like and it's reassuring too. It's like, well, like it's not over. Like if you're frustrated or if you didn't do well at school or if you want to change careers, you can.
Yeah,
It's not nothing's impossible. I think as long as you have a good attitude towards really going for it and just work and there is a lot of sacrifice too.
yeah,
Like sometimes you know I'd on the weekends like I wouldn't go out with my mates because I was studying, I was doing something, and sometimes it's hard. you miss out on that. But in the long run, it's like, well, I'm 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 motivated. I'm doing this,
Yeah,
and you have to sacrifice. You have to work hard, but it's all worth it. It's all
yeah,
worth it. So
it will be.
yeah, bro.
Thanks very much,
Oh,
brother.
thanks, bro. This is awesome, man,
Yeah,
and thanks for having me on. And pleasure. I was very honored to be on here, and um, keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's inspiring me. So
thank you,
yeah,
bro.
thanks,
You too.
bro.
Thanks very much.
No worries, brother.